this, we'll bring in Rob Thompson, radio talk show host, and Ben Ferguson of the Icon Radio Network. Gentlemen, there you have it. Jim Angle tees up the debate quite nicely. The Democrats want about a 2,000-page bill with pork and so on to be passed, and they say it'll fund the government for the next year. And Ben, the Republicans have their one sheet, which they say will get us through to February, and we should start there. I take it you believe the Republicans are right.
Well, I mean, we should, because this is such a massive spending bill. No one knows what's in it, and that's exactly what the Democrats' purpose was here. They're saying, fine, you want to shut down the government, we'll blame you for it. And they're trying to go shopping for Christmas without having to pay for it. I mean, they're saying, hey, the American people are going to pay for what we want. A lot of the stuff that's in there is basically kickbacks from people that lost re-election saying, hey, you took care of me, I owe you, and I'm going to throw this in here. Meanwhile, this bill defunds nuclear waste issues that we have that they say, oh, no, we're not going to deal with nuclear waste, and we're going to cut the funding for that. But by golly, we're going to have $500,000 for a bike trail in Mississippi. Give me a break.
Rob, if the Democrats really want to push this through by the end of the year and say that we really need to for all sorts of reasons, why don't they and the Republicans who've already said they don't want it, pull out all of this pork, all of these earmarks, and let a vote go on that? Because I'll tell you that the National Review Online had an editorial today that called this bill, and I quote, the legislative equivalent of a middle finger to Americans.
Well, I wouldn't quite go that far. I do know that this does need to get passed. It is the legislative equivalent of a final exam that we're studying for, and we're having to choose which test that we're going to take because we've got 3 tests, but I can only get an A in one of them. And what we've got to do right now is focus on the subject at hand, and then let's get that 1A so we can go home to mom and dad and say, look what I brought home to you. This is the spending bill, the omnibus package that needs to get passed.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I like the way you're saying it.
It's not a threat. This is not so much a threat.
Look,
December the 18th, there's going to be something happen. The bill will be passed, and there will be no trouble. The government is not going to turn the lights out.
Will it be passed, Ben? Because the question now is, should the Republicans dig in their heels, not vote for this thing, and cause a government shutdown? They say it wouldn't be us causing it. It would be them causing it. But the last time the Republicans forced a government shutdown, it did not work to their advantage. It worked to the Democratic president's advantage, Bill Clinton.
But I think people are sick and tired of government spending, and they showed that in November. Hold on one second. They showed that in November. They were tired of this excess spending. Most people are going to be with their families over Christmas. They won't even notice if there's a government shutdown. And you know what? I think a lot of Americans say,
oh, yes, they will.
Yes, we're tired of paying for it.
You want to talk about Social Security checks? You want to talk about unemployment checks? They will notice, Ben Ferguson, and that's why GOP does not understand. This has got to get through and get taken care of because the American citizens deserve, the very least, the people that we elected to stay there and get the job done. We might not agree with what they're doing, but they better stay there and say
do what the president promised. What did the president promise when he campaigned? He said point blank, every American's going to have a chance to read these bills. We're going to have open process. We're not going to ram things down your throat. And I'm not going to be in favor of pork barrel spending and all of these earmarks. And that's exactly what's in this bill. It's exactly, people don't have time to read it. And that's what he said he was going to do. So
Rob,
you should challenge your own leader to do that.
This is old homework.
This is what he promised.
This is the beginning of the semester.
This was hope and change.
Let Rob go.
Oh, this is what we're talking about. Let's get this taken care of. Let's talk about the omnibus and get it taken care of. I think President Obama has capitulated enough. This deficit is going to grow tremendously, far more than any Republican ever wants to talk about, and certainly far more than any Democrat wants to lean on. But we have capitulated and allowed things to get in and taken out and let things go. Right. So the politics of no are gone.
I got to leave it at that.
Let's get this taken care of and move it there.
All right, Rob and Ben, always interesting. Thank you both so much.